You bought something yesterday you didn't need. Maybe it was that coffee on the way to work, or those shoes you saw on Instagram, or that subscription service you signed up for and completely forgot about until you saw the charge on your bank statement. And here's the thing. You knew you didn't need it, but you bought it anyway. Why? Because retailers, marketers, and entire industries have spent billions of dollars studying your brain, mapping your triggers, and designing systems specifically to make you spend money on things you don't need. But what if you understood exactly how they're manipulating you? What if you could see the invisible strings they're pulling before they pull them? That's exactly what we're diving into today. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact psychological mechanisms that cause you to make unnecessary purchases. Not surface-level stuff. I'm talking about the deep cognitive biases and emotional triggers that override your rational brain. More importantly, I'll give you practical strategies to recognize these triggers in real time and stop yourself before you swipe that card. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain is literally wired to want things you don't need, the 7 psychological triggers retailers use against you every single day, how to reprogram your spending habits using simple mental frameworks, and the one question that will save you thousands of dollars this year. So, let's get into it. Number 1, the brain science. First, you need to understand something fundamental. Your brain was not designed for the modern consumer economy. Your ancestors' brains evolved over hundreds of thousands of years in environments of scarcity. Food was uncertain, shelter was temporary, resources were limited. So your brain developed a powerful survival mechanism. When you see something valuable, grab it immediately because it might not be there tomorrow. This made perfect sense when something valuable meant a berry bush or fresh water source. But in today's world, this same mechanism fires off when you see a 50% off, today only sign. Your primitive brain can't tell the difference between a flash sale and actual scarcity. It just screams, get it now or you'll regret it. This is why flash sales work. This is why only 3 left in stock makes your heart race. This is why you feel genuine anxiety about missing a deal on something you didn't even know existed 5 minutes ago. It's not a character flaw, it's neuroscience. But here's where it gets interesting. Knowing this doesn't automatically stop the impulse. Your rational brain understands that Amazon will have more phone cases tomorrow, but your emotional brain is already reaching for your wallet. The key is learning to create a pause between the trigger and the purchase, a gap where your rational mind can catch up. We'll get to exactly how to do that, but first, you need to know the specific weapons being used against you. Number 2, the 7 psychological triggers. Let me break down the 7 most powerful psychological triggers that cause you to make unnecessary purchases. Once you can name them, you can tame them. Trigger number 1. Scarcity and urgency. We've already touched on this, but it goes deeper. When you see limited edition or selling fast or a countdown timer, your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. You literally feel anxious about missing out. Retailers know this. That's why every email has "last chance" in the subject line. That's why Booking.com tells you 3 other people are looking at this room right now. They're manufacturing stress to override your judgment. The reality is most limited-time offers aren't actually limited. That sale will come back. Those shoes will be restocked. And even if they won't, do you really need them? Trigger number 2, the anchoring effect. This is sneaky. When you see a price tag that says was $200, now $100, your brain anchors to that $200 number. Suddenly, $100 feels like a steal. But here's the question you never asked. Was it ever actually worth $200? Retailers intentionally inflate the original price to make the sale price look incredible. You're not saving $100, you're spending $100 on something you didn't need. The anchoring effect works everywhere. It's why restaurants put one absurdly expensive item on the menu. It makes everything else look reasonable in comparison. Your brain uses the first number it sees as a reference point, even when that number is completely arbitrary. Trigger number 3, social proof. Bestseller, 10,000 plus 5-star reviews, as seen on TikTok. Your brain is wired to follow the crowd. If thousands of people bought something, it must be good, right? Not necessarily. Reviews can be fake. Bestseller might mean bestseller in the subcategory of blue kitchen gadgets under $30. And TikTok trends are literally designed to go viral, not to solve your actual problems. But social proof bypasses your critical thinking. When you see everyone else doing something, your brain wants to join in. This is the same mechanism that causes bank runs and stock market bubbles. Humans are herd animals, and marketers exploit this ruthlessly. Trigger number 4, the endowment effect. This is why free trials are so dangerous. Once you possess something, even temporarily, your brain starts to value it more highly. You begin to see it as yours. Try a streaming service for 30 days, and canceling feels like losing something, even though you never paid for it. Test to drive a car, and suddenly your current car feels inadequate. Use a premium feature for free, and going back to basic feels like a downgrade. This is the endowment effect. Possession increases perceived value. Smart companies give you free trials, free samples, and try before you buy options because they know once it's in your hands, you're psychologically primed to keep it. Trigger number 6, the sunk cost fallacy. You've already spent money on something, so you spend more to make it worth it. You bought a gym membership, so you buy workout clothes to justify the membership. You purchased a course, so you buy the advanced version to complete your learning. You subscribed to a service, so you force yourself to use it even when you don't enjoy it because you're already paying for it. This is irrational. Past spending is gone. The question should always be, is this next purchase worth it on its own merits? But your brain hates admitting that previous spending was wasted, so it throws good money after bad. Trigger number 7, the pleasure prediction error. Here's the big one. Your brain is terrible at predicting how much happiness a purchase will bring you. You see something and imagine how great your life will be when you own it. Your brain releases dopamine just from anticipating the purchase. But here's the cruel twist. The dopamine hits hardest during the anticipation and the buying moment. Once you actually own the thing, the pleasure fades fast. This is why your closet is full of clothes you've worn once, why your garage has equipment you used twice, why your apps folder has subscriptions you forgot existed. The pleasure was in the buying, not in the having. Your brain promises that this purchase will make you happy, but it's lying. Or more accurately, it's confusing the thrill of acquisition with lasting satisfaction. And once the dopamine fades, you're left with clutter, debt, and the vague sense that maybe the next purchase will be the one that finally makes you feel complete. If you're finding this valuable, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I break down money psychology like this every week, and most people tell me this stuff completely changed how they think about spending. Plus, it's free, which is the best kind of purchase, the one you don't make. Just saying. All right, let's keep going. Number 3, the awareness gap. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I understand these triggers now. Problem solved, right? Not quite. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Awareness alone doesn't stop the behavior. You can know intellectually that the countdown timer is fake, that the reviews are manipulated, that the dopamine will fade, and you'll still feel the pull. Why? Because these triggers operate at the emotional level, not the rational level, and emotions move faster than thoughts. By the time your rational brain says, wait, do I actually need this? Your finger is already hovering over the buy now button. This is what I call the awareness gap, the space between knowing better and doing better. So how do you close that gap? You need systems, automatic circuit breakers that activate before you make the purchase. Let me give you 4 powerful ones. First, the 48-hour rule. Simple rule. If something costs more than $50 and you didn't plan to buy it, you must wait 48 hours. Add it to your cart, save the link, write it down, but do not buy it for 48 hours. Here's what happens. That artificial urgency wears off, the dopamine spike fades, your rational brain catches up, and about 70% of the time, you'll realize you don't actually want it. The remaining 30%, those are purchases you actually thought through, much better odds. The second circuit breaker, the cost per use calculation. Before buying anything, ask how many times will I actually use this? Then divide the price by that number. That $300 jacket you'll wear twice a year, that's $150 per use. That $30 kitchen gadget you'll use once and forget, that's $30 per use. That $15 book you'll read and reference for years, that's pennies per use.
This calculation cuts through the emotional fog and gives you a rational metric. Quality items you'll use constantly are worth it. Impulse items you'll use once are not. The third circuit breaker, the replacement question. Ask yourself, what am I replacing with this purchase? If you're buying new clothes, which old clothes are you getting rid of? If you're buying a new gadget, which old gadget is it replacing? If you can't name what you're replacing, you're not replacing anything. You're just accumulating. This forces you to think in terms of utility rather than acquisition, and it has a bonus effect. It makes you realize how much stuff you already have that serves the same purpose.
Circuit breaker number 4, the future self check. This is the most powerful one. Before you buy, visualize yourself 1 month from now. Will that version of you be grateful for this purchase or resentful about the money spent? Better yet, imagine yourself having to explain this purchase to a financial advisor or accountability partner. I spent $200 on limited edition sneakers because the Instagram ad had a countdown timer. If that sentence makes you cringe, don't make the purchase. Your future self is the one who has to live with your present self's decisions. Give them a vote. If you're getting value from this, subscribe to the channel. I post deep dives on money psychology, investing, and building wealth every single week. The subscribe button is free to click, unlike most things we've talked about today. Just saying. Number 5, the master framework. Everything we've covered comes down to one central insight. Unnecessary purchases happen when you make decisions in an emotional state about things you haven't thought through. The solution isn't to never buy anything, it's to shift all non-essential purchases from emotional decisions to rational ones. Here's the framework. First, recognize the trigger. When you feel that sudden urge to buy something, pause. Name the trigger. Is it scarcity? Limited time offer? Is it social proof? Everyone's buying this. Is it the endowment effect? I've been using the free trial. Is it decision fatigue? I'm tired and scrolling. Just naming it diffuses half its power. Second, remove yourself from the environment. Close the tab, put down your phone, walk away from the store. You cannot make a rational decision while you're still in the environment designed to trigger you. Retailers spend millions on store layouts, website designs, and ad placements specifically to keep you in an emotional state. Leave. Make the decision somewhere else. Third, apply the circuit breakers. Run through the circuit breakers. Can I wait 48 hours? What's the cost per use? What am I replacing? Will my future self thank me? If the purchase survives all 4, it might actually be worth it. Fourth on the list, check your financial goals. This is the final filter. You have financial goals, right? Whether it's paying off debt, building an emergency fund, investing for retirement, or saving for a house. Does this purchase move you closer to those goals or further away? Every dollar you spend on unnecessary stuff is a dollar that's not working toward your actual objectives. That perspective shift changes everything. You're not saving money by not buying, you're allocating resources toward your real priorities. Number 6, the bigger picture. Let me zoom out for a second. The average American spends approximately $18,000 a year on non-essential purchases. That's according to multiple financial studies. $18,000. If you invested that amount annually in a basic index fund averaging 10% returns, you'd have over $1 million in 20 years. Read that again. The difference between unnecessary spending and intentional saving isn't just about having more stuff or less stuff. It's about having financial freedom or staying trapped in the cycle of working to pay for things you don't need, didn't want, and forgot you bought. This isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation. When you stop letting psychological triggers control your wallet, you take back control of your future. You buy things because you decided to, not because a countdown timer told you to. You spend money on what actually matters to you, not on what an algorithm thinks you might want. You build wealth instead of funding retail corporations' quarterly earnings. That's the real prize here. If this video helped you see your spending differently, subscribe to the channel. Seriously,
I make videos about money psychology, investing strategies, and building wealth every week, and this community is full of people who are done letting advertisers run their financial lives. Join us. Here's what I want you to do right now. Open your bank statement or credit card statement from last month. Go through it line by line. Circle every purchase you regret, every purchase you forgot about, every subscription you're not using. Add up those amounts. That number, that's your psychological trigger tax. That's what it's costing you to operate on autopilot. Now here's the good news. That number can go to zero. Every technique I've given you today is free to use. The 48-hour rule costs nothing. The cost per use calculation takes 30 seconds. The replacement question is just a question. You already have everything you need to stop making unnecessary purchases. You just need to use it. Look, you're going to see another ad today, another limited time offer, another bestseller with 5-star reviews and a countdown timer, and you're going to feel that pull. But now you know what it is. You know the game being played. You know the psychological weapons being used against you. And more importantly, you know how to defend yourself. You don't need to buy your way to happiness. You need to stop letting corporations convince you that you do. Your brain is powerful, your willpower is real, and your financial future is worth more than whatever they're trying to sell you today. Remember that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.